Okay, and we're recording. Hi, this is Rob Ryder. It's Monday, February 18th, 2013. And I talked with Ro about some interesting things that she had found having to do with tax deeds. So, what is the definition of a tax deed? It's a written instrument that provides proof of ownership of real property purchased from the government at a tax sale, conducted after the property has been taken from its owner by the government and sold for delinquent taxes. Transfer of real property in exchange for money to satisfy charges imposed thereupon by government that had remained unpaid after the legal period of the payment has expired. So basically, if you don't pay your taxes, whatever the delinquent taxes are, they have a tax sale, ends up with a tax deed. But there are requirements. Any sale of real property for delinquent taxes must be conducted in compliance with legally imposed requirements or it is not valid. Now, we don't know what we're going to find yet, but we've found a lot of not valid paperwork in court cases, property records, and so forth. So what's the chances we'll find some not valid paperwork? We'll find out. Ordinarily, the tax collector is required, the tax collector is required to make and publish a list of property on which taxes have not been paid. Such a list must contain an adequate description of each parcel of land to be sold, the owner's name, the amount due, the period of time for which the taxes are due. Okay, so if you're the owner of this property, you should be on there. How much you owe, and for what period it is. The interest permitted by law for delinquent taxes, penalties for default in payment, costs incurred for the sale, such as publishing fees, may be included in the amount due. Certain states mandate that this delinquency list must be filed or recorded in the office of the county clerk, lowercase county clerk. And statutes may indicate specific newspapers in which the list must be published. Okay, and just real quick, notice the purpose of the notice of tax sale is really for due process. Okay, Roski, so let's go look at these documents that you had, and you just kind of talk us through what we're looking at here. I'm trying to get this first one to pull up.
And the first one is...
It's the envelope window.
Right.
Okay.
This is when they sent me the final notice before tax sale.
Okay.
And the first page was like envelope page. The envelope was with a big window, and you can
and this
see.
was folded in half, so like a half-size sheet of paper envelope.
Right.
Bigger than a normal envelope.
Right.
Okay.
And this is treasurer's address on the upper left corner.
Yeah.
And barcode and postage.
Yep.
Fees paid on the right side, and then my husband's name, my name, street name, and city and state with a zip code and +4.
So this has got a +4 on it. So anyways, this, for whatever reason, this is inside the envelope, and we're not really sure what this is, except there's some barcode on here that has got a big number going to it. So that was
Right.
Okay. So that was that one, and what came with it is a thing called the final notice.
Yes. Yeah. It was the next page. They sent 2 pages.
Okay, and this is from the office
Sure.
of the Kane County Treasurer, David C. Rickert. It says he's the treasurer.
Right.
Established 1830. So this office was established while Illinois was a territory. Then it has your parcel number.
Right. And this office actually can do business in the city.
Okay.
The
They got a
building
business
A,
license.
the building has license.
719 South Bativa Avenue, Building A,
Yes.
has a business license in the city.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's a government seat address where the government seat is.
Okay.
Kane County government, I mean.
It's funny. It's the Kane County government, and it's in Geneva, Illinois, right? It's domiciled in a city. Interesting.
In a city, right?
Okay, you got your parcel number. Then it's got two different addresses here. You got a mailing address and a site address, and they're not quite the same. The mailing address is all spelled out St. Charles with a +4, and the site address is St. Charles with just the regular 5.
Yeah, but they have the same common street name. Have the same common part.
Yep. However,
The rest is not the
the
same.
rest
Yeah.
is not the same. So this said, according to our records, your 2011 Kane County real estate taxes payable 2012 on the property listed below are not paid in full. Sending those because you have ownership interest in this property. It's important that you give this matter immediate attention. Payment must be received in the treasurer's office by a certain date. Due to the significant penalties that would incur for failure to meet this deadline, we advise you to hand deliver this payment to the treasurer's office. Payment must be made in cashier's check, money order, or cash. No other forms of payment are acceptable.
All right.
Okay, and then head some hours, and then head down here, bottom left. Now this is using your mailing address. That's the mailing address, right? We said, yep.
All right.
Okay. Application for judgment. Right, so somebody applied, and an
Yeah, October
application is a
22nd.
précipe, or it's a writ, or it's a bill of complaint. It's a lot of things. Application for judgment.
All right.
Right? And then tax sale date. So 7 days later, they had a sale. And that certified number is the same as is on the other first sheet,
An envelope. Yeah.
but the barcode is different. Here at the bottom, on the bottom right, this barcode isn't the same as the barcode on the other sheet. So
It is the same. It is the same.
I don't think it is.
Yes, 5-8 in the end.
I'm talking about the barcode itself. On the upper, now in the right-hand column, there is a barcode.
Oh, right column now. Yes.
That isn't the same barcode that went with the 7196 number on the other one. This is a different barcode, which means it has different information embedded in it than the other one does.
All right.
We need to know how to read barcodes. And the parcel, the current tax, the penalty, publication, non-sufficient fund fee, and a total. And then this also has, in the lower left-hand corner, that little postage stamp is a barcode of some kind. So someday we're going to have them tell us what's in these barcodes, but it's just good to know that they're there. So,
All right.
okay, so you had these two pieces of paper.
All right.
And
They asked for money, for payment, and we didn't pay.
you didn't pay. Yeah. So they
We
had a
didn't
tax sale.
pay, and then they sold our taxes. And my husband wanted to know to whom. And he went to the treasurer's office, who sent us this final notice. And he asked, where can I get the name of the buyer? And he said, you have to go to the county clerk's office. He went and he asked for the name, and they gave estimate of real estate redemption. It's in the tax section of the Kane County clerk's office,
Okay.
at the tax section.
So in your Kane County Clerk's office, there's a tax section. There is that's where elections are, you said,
Yeah, and records
and
section
then the
too.
record section.
For birth certificates, marriage licenses, and other stuff.
Because it may not be called the same.
Passport also. Yeah, passport stuff. Yeah.
May not be called the same everywhere, but it has those functions in this particular office. So the treasurer told you needed to go to the county clerk, to the tax window, and your husband went there and he got this estimate of real estate redemption.
Right.
And it had on here the parcel number. Now this now this has got the site address, not your mailing address. It's got a site address on it. The tax year and a certificate that was generated, looks like 2012 02781, Had the sales
Right.
date, the township, property class, yada yada yada. And it says the tax buyer was MTAG, whoever that is.
Yeah, it's from Louisiana. Yeah.
They got their phone number on there. Okay. So I had a certificate number, beautiful. And then it says redemption amount calculated as of a particular date. And, doesn't really say what it is, but it's got 1% times 1 period, 68.65. That's the
And clerks.
sale interest. And a clerk's fee of $68. Amount can increase at any time. The estimate subject to correction. Personal checks not accepted. Anything else on here? No. Certificate expires 10/29/2014. So this certificate number expires on the basically 2 years later.
2 years exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And on the bottom, redemption checks or money orders must be made for the exact amount due. And this is county clerk, deputy, and some kind of tax DMH.
Okay. Redemption checks
Is,
or money
is it
orders must be made to the exact amount due. Clerk, deputy, yeah. Yeah, what is that? Tax DMH. Okay. So then you had this piece of paper,
right?
and you said, well,
And I
what are we going to do
saw
with this?
this. Oh, I took this paper and I went to the treasurer and asked him, "Can you show me, please, this certificate?
Right. So
How it looks?"
the certificate
Yeah.
number. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I asked, and he said, "I don't have it, but I can give you only what I have in my office." And it's an image of the screen of the screen on his computer,
Got it here.
and it says parcel number on the top. It means he did a search by the parcel number.
Right. Okay. Pulled up
He pulled up
the
the
township, the
information.
property class. A lot of the stuff was on the other thing.
Mhm.
Now the interesting, look at all these different flags he could, put the parcel number in. He's got all sorts of things he could search on, like the owner's name. Next time you're in there, ask him, well, who's the owner? Assessment, genealogy. That genealogy,
name.
that must be the complete history of this property. You think?
Might be.
The different permits.
Because property is like a person, right?
Well, okay.
Person, genealogy,
Yeah. Exempt, corrections, sales, redemptions, forfeitures,
old name,
all the
alternative,
history of this particular parcel number, basically.
right?
Okay, then we go down lower, and it's got year, certificate, date, status,
Receipt number.
sales status. Now this says it's been redeemed. Sales status.
It's been redeemed, right?
Yeah. And it's got a receipt number for it, 2013 36691. Okay, so that's
Right.
what the sales information is here, right? And it says it was redeemed by PNC Bank.
Yeah. Who filed the foreclosure case on
Yeah,
our
who
property?
filed the foreclosure case.
Yep. They want to have everything in one hands, or it looks like to me.
Okay. However,
Yeah.
now the 2000, see where it says sales certificate, is that the same as the number we're looking at here?
Right, the same.
Okay, that's the
It's the
certificate,
same.
right?
Certificate number, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's redeemed by PNC Bank apparently, but the buyer was some company in wherever they were, New Orleans.
P.O. Box.
Yeah, some post office box with a zip code. And then we got a list
It's a,
of amount summary.
and it's a site address. It's not mailing address, actually. Right? New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a site address.
Is it?
It's not mailing. Yeah, it's a site address.
Well, actually, a P.O. box with that zip code, that is, well, that could be an address. That's like general delivery. Right? You got the zip code, so it's going to go to the post office. And maybe the P.O. box is in the name of M-Tag Benu. But what we know is there's something fishy about addresses, right? And that's one of the things we're trying to figure out. What's all this fishiness with the
Yeah.
addresses? So,
We need more research, but we are getting closer, I think. Yeah.
okay, so he showed you this, and then what?
And then he said, this is a really good price for you. 1% is really good price. And if you look at his this sheet, interest 1%, miscellaneous fee 68, and he said it's really good for you.
Right, and
I even
the amount
didn't know what does it mean at that time,
in the amount summary on his screenshot, it shows tax sale percent. Somebody paid 1% at the tax sale. Right, they paid $64 basically, or $70.
Right.
They paid 1%.
Right.
Okay, and he said to you though that this was a very good price for you, right? I should know
Right.
what stepped on that. That's very significant. So say again what he said to you.
He pointed out this 1%, and he said it's really good. It never happened. It's really, really low. It's really good for you. I thought, well, it's for me.
And of course, he knows you're there talking about your property, right? I mean,
Right.
it's not like he thinks you're the buyer from New Orleans come for the property. No, he knows who he's talking to, and he said it's a very good price for you.
Right.
Okay.
And he said that you can get this certificate. I asked him at the clerk's office,
Okay. So we were back
county
there
county clerk's
right,
office.
because
Yeah.
you were there asking about the certificate to start with, and
All right. I
after
wanted to
showing you
see.
this and telling you it's a really good price for you, he told you to go back to the county clerk's office,
Yes, tax window.
to the tax window, and ask for the certificate
For the certificate.
by the
Yeah.
number.
All right.
Okay.
I came to the office and asked the lady. She looked at me that she doesn't understand. What does it mean? What do I want?
Okay. So
I
what did you
said-
ask her? You said you wanted the.
I want to get this certificate. She said, you cannot get. I said, why? Because you're not a purchaser. Original certificate can get, only purchaser can get original certificate. I said, really? I said, then please give me FOIA. I will put everything on FOIA. Then she said, okay, wait a minute, I have to talk to somebody. And she went and talked to the lady. The lady came, and I said, I want this certificate, like a copy. She said, I have to talk to the state attorney first. I think it was a deputy. She went, called state attorney, came back. She said, okay, I'll give you. She printed it out with a copy mark on the paper. And I said, I looked at this paper and I said, please, can you certify it for me? She said, there is no room for certification stamp. I said, yeah, it's kind of no room. Then I said, put on the back.
And that's what's kind of showing through in this thing. It looks like there's something on the back. So that
Yeah,
is that her attestation?
it's
or-
it's a state of Illinois, county of Kane, and it's Kane County Clerk's stamp. A big stamp, long,
Can you read it to me?
and date.
Do you have
Yes.
it there to read to me?
Yeah, yeah. State of Illinois, County of Kane, date 2/15/13. I, John Cunningham, Kane County Clerk and Keeper of the Records in Kane County, Illinois, do hereby certify that the attached is a true and correct copy of the original record on file. I, witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the County of Kane at my office in Geneva, Illinois, and his signature, and on the bottom of his signature, there's no line actually. No line. John A. Cunningham, Kane County Clerk.
Okay.
But there's no line. Usually it should be line
Is there a
when you
seal?
put signature.
He said he was going to fix
No.
his seal. They put one on?
No, it's just his signature.
Okay.
There's no seal.
All right.
And this is everything this in the box, like rectangle
Right.
shape.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's because obviously they printed this on 8.5 by 11. Had they put it on legal paper, there would have been room for that at the bottom. And that's probably where it should be.
Right.
So next time we're going to say put it on legal paper. But when we're looking at this, so this is that certificate, and this is a true copy,
Right.
and it shows who bought it. So now I have to read this thing.
And to whom assessed,
To whom
It says
assessed.
also.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is that your mailing address or is that the site address?
This is mailing
That is
address.
your mailing address. Okay.
Right.
And the acreage is 0.00. What are they selling, right? They didn't sell any land. It's got a legal
No.
description. Okay, so I'm going to read this these couple of paragraphs because they're interesting. So I, John A. Cunningham, County Clerk, in and for the County of Kane and State of Illinois. So he's the County Clerk for the County of Kane and the State of Illinois. Go figure. Do hereby certify that the above named tax purchaser did on the day above set forth between the hours of 9 and 4 on the said day purchase at public auction at the, now pay attention to this, at the Kane County Government Center in Geneva, Illinois. What's the name of the center? It's the Kane County Government Center in Geneva is the name of the center. And that's in Geneva, Illinois. The above described real estate situated in said Kane County for the taxes, interest, penalty, and costs due and unpaid, therefore, for the year AD 2011 and prior, so all years prior, paid all the taxes, and paid as purchase money on said property the total amount of taxes, interest, penalties, costs thereon, and stated herein, and paid as purchase money on said property. Well, that would have to be the amount of his bid, because he's bidding on an auction.
Right.
Right? So he paid $68. If the redemption period expires on said property, has not been redeemed, the above named purchaser, all right, so if the redemption period expires and Roe doesn't go and claim her property, doesn't redeem it, then the above named purchaser or his or her assignee will, upon application and compliance with provisions of law pertaining thereto, be entitled to a tax deed on the said real estate, provided that unless the holder of this certificate takes out the deed in the time by law and records the same within 1 year from and after the time of redemption expires, the certificate or deed, and the sale of which is based, shall, after expiration of 1 year period, be absolutely void with no right to reimbursement except as provided by law. Okay?
Right.
But we get a little bit lower and nobody signed the damn thing. There's no seal from the county clerk. There's nothing from the county collector. Who's that
Collector.
county collector?
Really, they use the name but they never say who is the collector.
Yeah. Then it says received on the above named purchase the sum of $6,800 written out in dollars and the amount of the
But
purchase money, or the amount of the purchase money on the above parcel of land.
right.
Received.
But county collector should be somewhere on the door, right?
Then it says
Or
county collector
somewhere,
below that of Kane County, Illinois. So that we got one
right?
county collector with no addition
Right.
and another county collector of Kane County, Illinois. It's like there's two different collectors,
Yeah, and two different lines to sign.
two different lines to sign. Or like you said, maybe they just print their name on this one here, but
Right.
right, they didn't call the county collector at the top the county collector of Kane County. That's funny. And then there's no certificate of assignment done. So this is
Nobody
this is
assigned.
this is supposed to be what's on file with the tax office, and this guy is supposed to have bought it. And this guy keeps guy some company,
Right.
right? But nobody signed it. Interesting. So, kind of based on that, we want to start looking at some paperwork,
Right.
or to see what it said about redeeming property. And where was that one? Illinois redemption. No, that isn't what I wanted to do. I'm going to do
Redemption procedures and notice requirements, right? Article 21, Division 7.
well. First one I want to
Rights
do.
of
The
redemption.
first one I want to do is 22-5.
Okay.
Right, and that is notice of sale and redemption rights, because you did get a notice of sale. At least we think you did. I mean, there's something there. That's what made you go in the first place, was the notice they sent you.
Yeah, final notice, but I didn't get, I think, notice
No,
before
right.
this.
Well, I'm not saying you got this one, because as we're going to see. But when you go read about redemption rights, it says, in order to be entitled to a tax deed within 4 months, 15 days after the sale held under this code, the purchaser shall deliver to the county clerk a notice to be given to the party in whose name the taxes are last assessed. And that had your guy's name as being last assessed, right?
Right.
On one of those, I can't keep all these documents in front of me now, so on one of those documents it says you were the assessed party.
Right.
But then it says, as shown in the most recent tax collector's warrant book. Right? So we want to go see who's in this tax collector's warrant book. That's a warrant saying that you didn't pay your taxes. Could be. Well, whatever his warrant book is. But he's got a warrant book that lists
Right.
who the last assessed is. In at least 10 point in the following form completely filled in. And it would have the county of, the date sold, the certificate, sold for general taxes. Now they're specific. Right now it says general taxes. It doesn't say property taxes. General taxes. Special assessments for the municipality, the township, city, village. The warrant number. Instrument number. You said you found something you think that instrument number pertained to, Ro, earlier today?
Instrument number? I didn't say about number. I think instrument related to the address.
That's what I thought, site address or something, but okay.
It's site address. But this is, I'm not sure it's instrument number. Maybe it's installment.
This property has been sold for delinquent taxes, where it's located. Anyways, they were supposed to have sent you a notice like this.
Right.
At the date of this notice, the total amount which you must pay in order to redeem the above property is, right? So it's specifically saying you must pay this much money. It isn't saying here's an idea what the taxes are. It's saying you must pay this to redeem the property. Redemption can be made at any time on or before some date by applying at the county clerk of some county, at the office of the county clerk in some city, in Illinois
By applying.
by applying. Yep. So that's kind of what Rose and I have been talking about. She's going to go down and apply to redeem the property. Because some place is supposed to be some kind of something that says what the exact amount is she needs to redeem the property. Within 10 days after receipt of said notice, the county clerk shall mail to the address supplied by the purchaser by registered or certified mail. So if they've ever sent this out, whoever they sent it to, they got a got some kind of receipt for it. The purchaser assigned shall pay to the clerk postage plus the sum of $10. There's that $10 again.
Right.
So that's all you need to do to redeem your property is go to the tax window at the county clerk and ask them, tell them you want to redeem the property. And what property are they talking about? Well, the one that's on the certificate number. And in there someplace they can tell you what the general taxes are and what the special assessment is. Those are the taxes we're supposed to be paying. Now, I talked to you earlier. I said, where do you go pay your taxes, right? Do you go to this window? And you said, no, you go to the treasurer, right?
All right.
Right. So normally in your property taxes, you're taken to this guy called the treasurer, who's probably actually the collector, the tax collector. But you don't go to the window that says taxes in the county clerk's office to pay your taxes.
Yeah, you have to pay to tax collector, not to treasurer.
Right.
Right?
Right. But you're going into the office of the treasurer to pay your taxes, your property taxes.
Right.
Right? Okay. So that doesn't quite sound right, does it? You should be going to the tax collector to pay your taxes, not to the treasurer.
Maybe I'm negligent. I think I am negligent.
I think we've been going to the wrong window and not paying the right taxes.
Right. But nobody told us
Yeah.
we can do other way.
Okay. So now this is 21-345. Redemption procedures and notice requirements. You got that one?
345.
Yeah. A right to redeem property from any sale under the code shall exist in any owner or any person interested in that property other than an undisclosed beneficiary of an Illinois land trust, whether or not the interest in the property sold is recorded or filed. So you are the owner, or at least you have an interest in it, and so you have the right to redeem it. And a redemption shall be presumed to have been made by and on behalf of the owners or persons interested in the property and shall inure to the benefit of the persons having the legal or equitable title to the property redeemed. Okay?
Right. We have equitable
We
time.
have equitable title for sure. Yeah. If it wasn't for it being in the torrent system or whatever, right? So we'd have the legal title, which is what we're going for, then we'll have both of them. But in the meantime, you can still go and redeem this property. No redemption shall be held invalid by reason of failure to the person redeeming to have recorded or filed document evidencing an interest in the property prior to redemption. So you don't even need to put anything in prior to redemption. You can just go do it. Any person that desires to redeem and does not desire to contest the validity of a petition of a tax deed may redeem pursuant to the section. Okay. So this just pointed out who can do it. Property sold in this section and redeemed anytime. You can do it within 2 years, and you're within your 2-year window. If, however, the court that ordered the property sold upon the verified, one of these documents we saw a court number or something, didn't we, bro? A case number or something?
Yeah. We
if
saw
however the court
somewhere. Now I have to remember where.
right, so if however the court that ordered the property sold upon verified petition of the holder of the certificate of purchase bought within 4 months, yada yada yada. So they have, they have a tax board, right, that makes up a tribunal, which is a court. And so I just wonder if that's the court they're talking about, the tax court. Because when we were looking at those equitable remedies you had available, they had a separate list for tax type things. Okay, amount of redemption. This is 21,355.
355.
355.
Okay.
Any person desiring to redeem shall deposit an amount specified in this section with the county clerk of the county in which the property is situated, in legal money of the United States, or by cashier's check, certified check, post office money order issued, okay, payable to the county clerk of the proper county.
It's just legal money of the United States.
I don't know. Which depends what the United States we're talking about, right? They use the word money, though. Right?
They do.
They use the word money. The deposit shall be deemed timely only if actually received in person at the county clerk's office. So you're supposed to take it to the county clerk. I think that's where we're supposed to be paying our taxes at. Prior to the close of business as defined in something or other. And then you got to pay the tax principal, special assessments, interest and penalties. It's got a whole list of things that make up what this would be. Total of all taxes, special assessments, this is C, accrued interest and yada yada yada, connection with those, or special assessments which have been paid by the tax certificate holder. So in your case, the tax certificate holder is supposed to be this company in Louisiana, and they only bid 1%.
Right.
$68. And then all fees paid to registrar of titles incident to the registering of the tax certificate in compliance with the Registered Titles Torrens Act. Fees, all sorts of fees you had to pay.
I look at number 3, all costs paid to record a list pendants notice.
Well, that's right.
With the
This is an H, right?
in H, yes.
Number 3, all costs paid to record a list pendants notice in connection with filing a petition under this code.
They filed the
Yeah,
petition.
where did they file that petition?
At which court? All fees paid to the circuit clerk. Circuit clerk.
And the sheriff, a licensed or registered detective, or a coroner in connection with the filing of a petition for tax deed and service a notice under. So are they filing a petition for a tax deed? Is that what they're doing when they do a lis pendens?
Yep, exactly. That's what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, under this code. The only petition that's under this code is a petition for the tax deed. So that's what the lis pendens is showing. It's a notice that somebody's applied by petition for the tax deed. And they did it at the county clerk's window.
Exactly.
However, they did this with the circuit clerk. Right? This part of it they did with the circuit clerk. These are just the fees that come from the circuit clerk's office. The fee for a fee of $35 of a petition for tax has been filed. Which fee shall be posted to the tax judgment, sale, redemption, forfeiture record to be paid to the purchaser. Well, all we need to do is figure out where they're putting where they're putting this petition in. But all this is going to the circuit clerk. Not the circuit court clerk, the circuit clerk. You met him in his other hat,
Right.
right? So where would they file petitions for tax deeds? That's really what you need to find out. Where's the petition for tax deed file? Because it's going to be tied to your certificate number, right?
Right.
That
Well, I have this number. I can ask either in one office or another one.
all the actual costs expended may be posted on the tax judgment, sale, redemption, and forfeiture record. Excellent. This is section 21410 to the is that what it is? Oh. All costs and expenses of receivership.
21.
No, this is just K. It just happened to be on the next
Okay.
page. All costs and
Okay.
expenses
Uh-huh.
of receivership under section 21410 to the extent that those costs expenses exceed any income of the property, so forth and so on. But it ends up saying only actual costs expended may be posted on the tax judgment. So there's a thing called a tax judgment someplace. They got a judgment book. What's the tax judgment? The sale, redemption, and forfeiture records. Now the interesting thing is it said that these are done by public auctions, right? And having been to many public auctions, things are sold by lot, right? And that's what they have the address, the description of is a lot, right? It's just a lot number. Lot 162, up for bid next. Well, those sales in a public auction, I think they have to be turned into some state agency. You know, what things sold for, who bought it. They make you fill out those cards and stuff when you go in there. So,
Right.
the county clerk shall not be required to include amounts described as C through K in the payment of redemption. So why don't they have to require the amounts in there? Or the amount received for redemption. The county clerk shall not be required to include the amounts of C through K of 21,355 in the payment for the redemption or the amount received for the redemption. They don't even need to say how much they receive for the redemption. Nor shall payment thereof be charged on the property sold for taxes unless a tax certificate holder has filed and posted with the county clerk prior to redemption, and in any event not less than 30 days prior to the expiration of the period of redemption, extended period of redemption. An official, original, or duplicate receipt for payments of these fees, costs, and expenses permitted under those paragraphs. There's that receipt word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is 3370, 21370. When property has been
Redemption.
forfeited for delinquent general taxes, the person desiring to redeem shall apply to the county clerk, who shall order the county collector to receive from the person the amount of the forfeited general taxes, statutory cost, interest prior to forfeiture, printer's fees due thereon, and in addition forfeiture interest at a rate of 12% per year or a fraction thereof. So when you apply to the county clerk, they will order the county collector to receive from you the amount that is going to show on the paperwork. Upon presentation of the county clerk's order to the collector shall receive the amount due on account of forfeited general taxes and give the person duplicate receipts setting forth description of the property and amount received. One of the receipts shall be countersigned by the county clerk. So now you got to go back to the county clerk and get it countersigned. And when so countersigned shall be evidence of redemption of the property. The receipt shall not be valid until it is countersigned by the county clerk. Bingo. That's how you do it. You go to the clerk and you apply. She writes an order. You take the order to the collector. The collector gives you 2 receipts. You take a receipt back and give them to the county clerk. The other receipt shall be filed by the county clerk in his or her office, and the county clerk shall make proper entry of the redemption of the property on the appropriate books or in his or her office and charge the amount of redemption to the county collector.
Collector, yeah.
Interesting. That's how it's done, Ro. I don't know what it will do, but that's how you redeem your property.
It looks like, yeah. That's what they say.
Redemption of property on the now we say the appropriate books. So what are the books that you're going to be making these changes in? I want a record. Every book that you make a change in, I want a freaking copy of it.
Yep.
Beautiful. This is good stuff.
Appropriate books.
Yeah. Did you highlight that?
Yeah.
Then we got in counties of 3,000 or more, which is really just Cook County where Chicago is. But in counties of 3 million or less inhabitants, when property has been forfeited in whole or in part for non-payment of delinquent special assessments, the person desiring to redeem shall apply to the municipal collector, who shall receive the amount due on delinquent special assessments. So you need to go to the municipal collector. If you're in the city collector. Township, the township collector. What we're finding, though, is we think that the guy that's called the treasurer by the office is really the tax collector. The treasurer is actually a guy that's the auditor. What did I say they call him here? They had a goofy ass name for him.
Are you talking about city?
No, I'm
Municipal?
talking about the abstractor. Who the actual treasurer is. I think you're going to find that when you walk
auditor?
into that county office, the guy you think is the treasurer is the tax collector. He's not the treasurer. He's the tax collector.
Right.
The treasurer is some appointed guy like the auditor or the
Auditor.
abstractor or, some other name.
Maybe even deputy. Auditor's deputy. I talked to the deputy once.
Yeah. But this is
It's
what
not
this
elected,
is saying
it's
is
appointed.
since your county has less than 3 million inhabitants, right? You also
Right.
need to go to the municipal collector. I'm just saying that's probably the city treasurer.
Right?
However, you're just going to take the statute and say, okay, who's the municipal collector? I'm here to who shall receive the amount due on the delinquent special assessment, together with interest costs fixed by law, and issue a certificate that says you've paid your taxes. The recipient shall file the certificate of municipal collector that the special assessments, costs, interest, penalties have been paid with the county clerk. So you got to go get it and take it to the county clerk. One more step, right? You're not done with just the county. You got to go take care of the municipality and go file with the county clerk. The municipal collector's certificate of payment shall be filed by the county clerk in his or her office, and the clerk shall make proper entry of the redemption on the books in his or her office. Cool.
I think they have a municipal collector, city collector. We have, I think.
Okay.
I kind of try to remember it. Yeah, I have to figure out.
But it's a FOIA to the city manager, right? If
Right?
this is for other people, right? If you're going to the city and want to get something done, and you look at a organizational chart of a city, the citizens are on top. This is how it is in rows, and then all the offices you would think of, the mayor, the treasurer, so forth and so forth, they're all in boxes, lighter colored, broken boxes, almost like they're ghosts, not even there, with a direct line going down to the city manager, whatever his title is, right?
Administrator, maybe.
He's actually the guy that's administrating the bankruptcy that all everybody's in because we haven't paid the frickin' municipal taxes. So they put a lien against your property.
Right.
Okay, so in counties of less than 3 million, when property has been forfeited in whole or in part for non-payment of delinquent special assessments, the person desiring to redeem shall apply to the municipal collector, who shall receive the amount due on the delinquent special assessment. So you need to ask him for the delinquent special assessment for your property, together with interest, costs, penalties, and issue a certificate thereof. The recipient shall file the certificate of municipal collector that the special assessment costs, interest, penalties have been paid with the county clerk. The municipal collector's certificate of payment shall be filed by the county clerk in his or her office, and the clerk shall make proper entry of redemption on the books of his or her office. Okay,
This is very important.
yes, now
Yeah.
partial redemption of forfeited properties in counties less than 3 million inhabitants, when forfeited taxes on a property remain unpaid for 1 or more years. It is permissible to pay to the county or township collector 1 or more full years of back or forfeited taxes, interest prior to forfeiture, statutory costs, printer fees, forfeiture, interest, penalties attaching thereto, beginning with the earliest year which the taxes are unpaid. Okay, so you can pay them all. It's permissible to pay all your taxes. And that way, there won't be any lien against you next time for not paying your taxes. I think this is why they say the 2011 tax is payable in 2012. So for some way, they're keeping us just far enough behind, right?
Right.
That there's always a lien against your property. And Bob in Massachusetts found this out, that there's always this municipal lien against your property. He was talking to a lady
Right.
about having a room. He says, well, yeah, but they'll just put it on next month. But it doesn't have any value to it, or something. It has no cost in there, right? It's just a lien against, well, that's the whole point. It's just a lien. If they put a
Right.
lien against your property, they can lien all of your property. So,
Exactly.
then they got a redemption under protest. Oh, that's where it said tax deed case number. This is just farther down in those papers. This is 380. Redemption under protest.
All right. Let's see.
Right there it says tax deed case number.
Yes, it's here.
So that's the court case, right? Okay, where's the court case? Volume number, property index number? Yeah, so we're just going to take the property index number or legal description to a different window and see what kind of books they have. Instead of looking under our name, it isn't under our name, right? It's under the description of the property. It has a record. We need to see what's in that record. So, okay, and then, then there's an extension.
But they say property index number or legal description. Either one.
But, it talks about there being a tax deed case number. So is this redemption under protest if somebody's already redeemed the property? Any person redeeming under this section at a time subsequent to filing a petition desires to preserve his or her right to defend against the petition for tax. Oh, okay, this is how you defend yourself. Shall accompany the deposit for redemption with a writing substantially in the following form. So I don't know if we need to do a redemption under protest or not, because they have a lis pendens filed. Okay, and they're talking about a court. What court did this? The tax court.
Which one you're at?
All I'm doing is reading 21-380. Redemption under protest.
Trade.
Any person redeeming under this section at time subsequent to the filing of a petition. So we need to go look at 22-30 and 21-445. Highlight those for later. All right, that'll tell you how the petitions got filed. who desires to preserve his or her right to defend against the petition for a tax deed, because I think that's what they did with the lis pendens, right? They filed a petition for the tax deed. Shall accompany the deposit for redemption with the writing substantially in the following form: tax deed case number, volume number, property, original amount of tax, amount deposited for redemption, name of the petitioner. So I think you need to do this after you've redeemed the property, right? Then you'll have all these pieces of information. When you go to the clerk and get the order, which is a writ, go to the collector, pay it, get his 2 receipts, give them to the clerk. She's going to file them. You may have to do this redemption under protest also. And we'll find out.
Right.
So,
I think I lost you.
Ro, on the same page, just one of the, to the last page is section 21380. Maybe you didn't pick up all your sheets of paper.
Oh, but I cannot hear you. I think I lost.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did you find 21380?
380. Yes. Yes. 21 380.
Yes. Redemption under protest. Found it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. All I'm saying is you might have to do this because they put a lis pendens in, and it sounds like the lis pendens is putting in a petition for the tax deed. Right?
Right.
Okay. So since that's already been done, you may have to do redemption under protest. Who desires to preserve his or her right to defend against the petition for tax deed shall accompany the deposit for redemption with writing substantially in the following form. And then it tells you what it is. So that's really all I want to talk. We'll find that out when you get to the next step. Go look at what those particular statutes were. And then
Right.
385 farther down is extension of period of redemption. So it looks like there's a way to extend the period of redemption. But what was interesting in that part is towards the bottom of it, it said by causing the sheriff, or if he or she is disqualified, a coroner.
Right. This is interesting.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And this is just old English law. We're not talking the sheriff with a 10-star. This sheriff wears a gown, and he was the king's chief businessman, and he didn't hold office for more than 1 year and 3. And the king sent the guy called a coroner, who long before he was doing anything with dead bodies was the keeper of the king's pleas and protector of his property. His job was to keep an eye on the sheriff. And a coroner can fill a sheriff's office, but a sheriff cannot fill a coroner's office. These offices. So who's the coroner? Well, one of the things in law is only a coroner can recover drowned bodies. And it may say the sheriff's department does that, but a guy in Texas went and really pressed him, and they said, well, we really just assist. And they gave him a card with a guy's name on it, some low-level magistrate. Ended up being the coroner. Except he never followed through on it.
Right.
Okay, effective receipt of redemption money or the forfeiture, withdrawal, or return of the certificate. This is 390. The receipt of redemption money or any property
I see.
by any purchaser or assignee on account of any forfeiture, shall operate as release of claim to the property under or by virtue of the purchaser, withdrawal, or forfeiture.